So, you're realizing you're a targeted individual. You got people monitoring you, moving pieces around on a board, just like that of a chess board. And now others are starting to pick up on it too. Strangers are noticing things in you that even your closest either couldn't see or wouldn't see, or for their own reasons can't see, but because they're too busy guarding their own sinister ways. As the outsiders start treating you these ways with more kindness than your own, you're gonna realize that unclaimed love that you had been wanting. And even if it hits home in just a short spurts of seconds, it'll hit home. It'll make you cry. It'll it'll make you feel like you have shifted some energy and sparked up this shift, because before you started this whole journey you didn't get that. You didn't feel that. You didn't feel that energy. But see, the enemy in that energy, they create ways to always want to take from you, to always want to use you for something. It's never to come into your situation to help sharpen you. Like a stone sharpens the blade. It's never that tone. It's always to hamper that blade, to crunch that blade, to where your blade's useless. You can't fight that battle with the butter knife. Remember who you were. Remember where you've been. Remember what you've been going through. Remember when you were just down and out, feeling like you had nobody, feeling like the weight was coming from these unseen forces. Well, they shifted the blame and calling you crazy as if it's just all a mental health issue, just to justify the cycles of abuse and stagnation that's constantly there in your life, setting up all around you. It's as if anyone that's around you to be there to love you and support you are being siphoned and paid and drained and whatever they have to do to manipulate the scene against you. But don't forget who was there for you and who pulled for you, who showed up and pulled you out of that land of Egypt to show you the real land of that milk and honey. When you were crying out for help and you needed answers and those walls were closing in on you, even when those people weren't going to even hand you an application, you prayed, and through happenstance, 2 weeks later you're there. These things are God's provision, protecting you, making a way where these people were swearing that there wasn't going to be any way, no way for you to get out from under. Their black magic isn't working anymore, and they've hired practitioners that have pulled the strings through their occultist attacks. They've stacked their deck against you and whatever dark evil forces that they could muster up. All of their money paid, which I've asked questions about. I'd really like to know how much money has been paid on killing me. But because I'm stepping into my light unapologetically in fashion, you're reclaiming what they tried to steal. And I'm reaching people. I'm activating prayers, and I'm feeling them too. And I believe that, and hopefully you can feel other people's, including my own prayers for you. But in doing so, and in doing these things, you're exposing them. You're bringing the light out of what has been there in your life, and this is why they're so mad, desperately moving around the scenes. Like they gotta shift and move around the parts and pieces of the goalpost to make anything you're trying to make sense of not make sense to anybody out here, because you're standing in your truth and you're cutting anyone off that's not willing to stand in at least your ability to thrive, grow, and to try and become in that way where you can stand in your truth, where you can stand not in the backdrops of the silences of these influences that are making your truth harder and harder to come out, but instead silencing their influence and reaching other influences where you're reaching breakthrough and the truth and get louder. These people have worked in shadows and the backdrops to erase you, sabotaging your finances in cutthroat ways where your relationships, your energy, and anything you could put your focus into got you scattered, lost, confused, and broken, and the tactics worked before. Because let's bring it to baseline. You initialize your energy with those who are around you and with them dimming your light and allowing them to dim your light in that way. And not only allowing them to dim your light, but them physically and strategically and very corruptively dimming your light. The energy is much of a poison through patterns resonated at that level, believing they were family, friends, supporters, lovers, old allies, close ties, and people that you could once see these truths with, but now they can't stand you. They can't stand within that truth, and they hate it. They hate you. They're scrambling because you're being aesthetic in your creation. You're being authentic with your whole engagement in an existence that relies on their deception. So they need to twist your actions to pervert your efforts and cloud up your reputation in order to keep their own secrets buried. And even if they've worked in the backdrops of your life in this way, realization hurts and it's brutal. And that brutal realization hits you really hard when those truths come from children who come straight to you and say, I'm one of your supporters and I support you. I support you with your reason and I support you with what you're doing. And stuff like that. And you realize and you get support from legitimately people you would never think that they would be your supporters. And you realize that in order for them to keep getting away with these things, they're going to keep trying to keep the tables flipped up on you. And the time is up. The time is up. Their time is up. They have no more time left. The game and the rig is done. Every single mechanical operation is being exposed and exploited. And I believe wholeheartedly, and I hope that you do too, that a lot of this is by the Lord's own design. At least that's the way I feel. So that's the mission I'm trying to bring about and carry on with, because these people are otherwise getting away with people without any consequences, without anything happening to them. And mind you, they make a whole lot of money on you. All in lies and corruption. So I believe that there's trust accounts out there in our names that are traveling around the NASDAQ. When we go in for loans and we sign for these things, they're actually giving us a portion of our own money that we have to pay, our own money that we have to pay back. Whereas in the original ways that it was written, it was that line of credit that gave us the ability to grow that income, not subjugate us through terrorist events, while not calling them terrorist events, while then subjugating us through all of these ritualistic, abusive ass ways. And if people aren't willing to step up the cause, to donate to a mission, to stop these abuses, then what is the truth inside of a person's life when it's many out here? And you're not going to take away the ties that I've combined and made when like underneath the water there's a big ass boulder, and this truth that I ran into, I'm just like hit the tip of the iceberg, but there's a lot underneath from what I hit, and not a fucking damn thing is happening as far as investigations go and all that kind of shit. It's like, you gotta be kidding me with what these criminals can do. And if you can't call them criminals, then what do you call them? Upstanding people in suits and ties, and they're just all well-to-do, pokey-dunky. You can get away with doing whatever the fuck you want because eugenics says you can, and you get paid to work in the eugenics. No, this doesn't make sense. And if it does to anybody, I gotta talk to you, man. I have to just talk to you. No, like, pokey jabby thingies, or no weapons, or nothing. Just let's talk. Let's get down to brass tacks here, because this shit is like fucking bone to bone, leaving people for dead. And you want us just to stay silent? You want us to be a coward? You want us to be like you cowards? You want us just to cower down and be okay with it? I'm not okay with it. I think there's real systemic issues out here, and I'm stepping up the game to confront them. And I believe other people should. For the people that are out here, not just me, in duress. But yeah, theoretically, I could really use $1,000 right now. I could really use like 10 grand right now. But that's just beside the point. These people have finitely utilized my life as just an instrument of this warfare for my whole life, just to make sure, for their own reasons, that I'm just muzzled out of life, liberty, justice, or the pursuit of it, and then almost leaving me without a freaking damn heartbeat, leaving me dead, without anybody being available to have known anything about anything to deal with that. I would have just been probably not even a name. I don't even know if I would have made an obituary. What, he died suddenly, like, just about it. It's hokey, is what it is. It's completely hokey. I've already said it though. Wherever I end up dying, it's definitely in my chest, and it's loud, and it's from these people. I would have lived a lot longer, and I would have, prior years to this and the years that I now have left to live, are completely do not touch the hair on one of my anointed. These people fucked with destiny in the worst ways that you could imagine. That's what a destiny swap is. Anyway, so if you think you can locate any kind of place that can help me, please feel free. Submit a number at the bottom of the thing in comments, and I'll try and call them and see what they have to offer me. But I'm getting nowhere out here. If you can call them for me, that'd be awesome.